Good morning, students. I am Shweta Sarangi, and in your third semester, I'll teach you the subject that is environmental studies. Okay, so today we are going to start a new chapter that is chapter number 7, and the chapter name is Human Population and the Environment. Okay, so in this chapter, we are going to study about the population and the environment. Okay, so how population growth, variations among nations, population explosion, population crash, what are the human rights, value education, and the family welfare programs, and role of information technology in environment and human health. Okay, so, first of all, I want to tell you that what is population. So, a population may be defined as a group of organisms of the same species occupying a given area at the same time. It is subdivided into uh, terms or local population, which are groups of interbreeding organisms or the smallest collective unit of population. A population may consist of either unitary or modular organisms. Insect, fish, birds, mammals are the examples of unitary organisms where each individual is produced from a zygote and the form and development of individuals is highly predictable. But in modular organism, the zygote develops into a unit of construction or module, which produces further modules to form a branching structure. Therefore, form and development of individuals are unpredictable. Spawns, coral, and plants are the example of modular organism. Next is population growth. The most important features of population is the growth, that is, the capacity of increase in individual members by measuring the size or density of a given population from time to time. We can get rate of increase and can also predict future changes in its size. It can be defined in following ways. So, according to the rate of increase of population, it is of following three types. First one is our logistic growth, second is our exponential growth, and third is our geometric growth. So, first of all, we are going to study about the logistic growth. When what do you mean by logistic growth? When a population is allowed to grow in a limited space or environment, it shows logistic growth. If we plot a graph between the number of bacteria or cells against time, we find a typical S-shaped sigmoid curve called population growth curve. Okay. Next is exponential growth. When a population growth curve quickly begins to rise very steeply, the population shows exponential growth. A population growing exponentially increases accordingly to the equation, that is nt is equal to n naught ERT. Next is geometric growth. Geometric growth may be defined as a population growth in which the rate of increase is proportional to the number of individuals in the population at the beginning of the breeding season, when young ones are added to the population only at specific times of the year during well-defined reproductive periods. The population is said to have geometric growth. Okay. Then there is a point that is doubling time. So what do you mean by doubling time? It is defined by the time needed for the population to get doubled in numbers. It shows that more the growth rate, less will be the doubling time. Next is population variations among nations or among developed and developing countries. So the population of Europe was 163 million in 750 and increased to 276 million in 1850. The mortality conditions in Europe began to improve as a result of socio-economic development due to advances in medical technology and reforms in the field of environmental sanitation and public health. The population again increased to 547 million in 1950 and 728 million in 1999, which is projected to decline to 701 million in 2025. The share of North America was 2 million in 1750, but by 1900 it's reached to 82 million, and by 1999 to 303 million. This is mainly by immigration. The population of Latin America and Caribbean island was 16 million in 1750 and 38 million in 1850, and again it increased to 166 million in 1950, further increasing to 512 million in 1999. The population of Asia was 502 million in 1750 AD, increased to 809 in 1858 edition, and further increased to 1402 million in 1950. The population of Asia increased its share of world population between 1950 to 1999 from 56% to 61%. The two largest Asian countries, the Asian elephants, are India and China, along added 28.6 million to the world population. The population of Africa was 106 million in 1750. Fastest growth of the population is seen in Africa. The growth rates are not uniform in the world. In many countries like Europe, the growth rate is less than 0.5% per year. In developing countries, the growth rates are excessive. For example, India. India is the second largest, will soon overcome China, the present largest, as China is restricting population by rigorous population control and advocating one child family norm to bring down the population. But impressive progress was seen in East and South East Asia and Latin America. The fertility rates of South Korea and Singapore are below the replacement level NRR1, and that of Thailand is 2.1, Sri Lanka is 2.3, Indonesia is 2.8. In India, the fertility rate declined to 3.4, whereas in sub-Saharan Africa, the TFR was more than 6.0. In many developing countries, the key factors for fertility decline are changes in government attitude towards population growth, increased availability of contraception, and the extension of services offered through family planning program, as well as marked changes in marriage patterns. So, the population explosion is a major obstacle to the economic and social development of most of the underdeveloped countries. Okay. Next is population explosion. So, as we have seen, uh, growth rate of a population is expressed as the number of individuals by which the population increases divided by the amount of time that elapses. That is, the growth rate R equals to, or RG equals to, number of births Bn minus number of deaths Dn divided by average population in time interval. There are many cases where B is substantially larger than D for a period of time, following which conditions change so that D becomes more larger than B. This sort of variations are exponential, called population explosion during favorable conditions, followed by a crash when conditions change. For example, diameter population in Lake Michigan, USA undergoes such exponential increases at different times of years. Okay. In 20th century, population growth increased too much. This is called population explosion. Okay. At certain points, due to certain change in condition, Dn is greater than Bn. This is called as population crash. Okay. So, due to overpopulation, some serious problems are like food supply, space, accommodation, are unemployment, education, human health, energy crisis, etc. This is a fierce debate on population explosion to reduce fertility rates through worldwide birth control programs. This can be achieved by proper education, mass media, educational institution, raising the marriage age from 18 to 22, providing the facilities like contraceptives, intrauterine devices, birth control pills, okay, etc. Family planning program, which is government sponsored program, is also one of the effective means to reduce fertility. It was started in India in 1951. Okay, thank you. Next class we will discuss the National Family Welfare Program.